Hello, my name is Luke, and this is the LNL podcast, where my co-host Lamarr and I talk about different random things.
Can you do that?
No. No. I'm terrible at voices, I can't do anything.
Try. It's not a voice, it's a sound.
Voice and sound. You knew what I meant, you knew.
I didn't. I know it.
Can't do it.
Go on.
It was like in drama, when you're trying to force me to do something I couldn't do. I remember I took it up, even though I was terrible at it, and there was one of the things you probably had to do it in your class, where you had to play bouncers. And
How could I force you to do it if we were in different classes?
No, I mean, like you for trying to get me, pressure me to do that sound. It was like a marked performance or something where we had to be bouncers.
Oh, bouncers! Yes, I remember that.
And then girls, and I had to hold a handbag, and I've got a sort of deep voice. I cannot do a girl's voice at all, and it was just awkward. Most of the drama was awkward.
I can only do one slightly girl's voice. It is the only voice that out of every other voice I've ever done, it's the only one I'm embarrassed of doing in public anywhere. So even though I could do one, I refuse to do it completely. So I'm just sitting there going, hello, like that, and it was with someone else. And they were like, with the girls were like, oh, that was rubbish. But that was, the girl's voice is the only one that I blatantly refuse to do in front of everyone. I can sort of do them, but I really don't like doing it.
But like I said, most of the drama, I really regret taking it. You probably enjoyed it. In the year 9, it was great. I was in your class. We did all sorts of things.
Yes, in year 9 it was.
But after that, it was just horrible.
Wow, 2 years sort of blurred together. The only thing I remember doing... I remember doing 2 things. Animal Farm. Yes, I like that. Old Manger and Napoleon, best characters, yes. Napoleon anyway. I was always Napoleon and Old Major. I played both of them because they were both sort of imperial and amazing. Like Old Major, when he dies on the stage after his speech, he just collapses, falls off there. And then I was Napoleon. We must make this farm a communist dictation. And yes.
We never got to act out Animal Farm.
I probably should have done more drama homework. That's the only thing I regret about it.
Drama was pointless for homework wise. I mean, the only homework I remember ever getting was about an animal farm, and we sort of had to discuss what words to emphasise and stuff.
I just got detention because I never did it. I think it was the only lesson that I never did homework for.
I remember one of my performances was doing a Little Red Riding Hood thing, but we done it as a drug addicted Red Riding Hood. It was supposed to be like an educational thing.
I can't stand it when people do something. I was watching something the other day and they did another version of something. I can't say what it is because people will probably like it, but I hate it when someone gets a film or a fairy tale from ages ago and they try and modernise it. Like I was forced into watching a modern version of Romeo and Juliet, where they both did drugs and slit each other's wrists and died at the end or something like that.
Or with Leonardo DiCaprio?
No, it wasn't that one. It was one of them Gangs of London things or something like that. And I couldn't bear it. I'd rather just read a dictionary, which I've done, and I found it more interesting.
Well, I think this wasn't supposed to be that we modernised it. We were supposed to do an educational thing, and we decided that we'll just use... I don't know whether we had to use a fairy tale or not. I'm not sure. I can't remember what everyone else did.
One of my favourite bits were where we had to do little improvisations without any... we had to do different scenarios. One of my favourite ones was I was Mario, the owner of a pizzeria. I wonder where I got the idea from. I was like, hello, welcome to my pizzeria. I can't remember any of my other characters from him. The old man.
We played Monkey once.
Yes.
In our performance. where I played an angry, stressed dad. I must have like anger and management issues in that. Where sort of my only line was sort of to scream at the people in the back of my car. Which for some reason they made me drive as if I was American.
On the other side?
Yeah. I don't know why. We had the seat there. I mean, I was miming the steering wheel, but I had to sit in the American side, and then I come out and then sort of pretend to feed you a banana but throw it away. And then you sort of attack me in slow motion in these invisible bars in front of us.
Yeah.
I think I only ever enjoyed silent movie ones in drama. I did one with a friend, and it was a fight, and we just went over the top, and I think I came back as a zombie at one point, and he ran me over with an invisible car, and we just went on for ages.
I did enjoy silent movies, but my forte, air quotes, was in verbal. I like doing voices. A silent movie, I like exaggerating what I do with stuff and talking, like like that. Or as I say, when I was old days, we were talking about wiggling your hand in front of you and having funny facial expression like old man. But then in silent movie, what you can do is, I mean, you can't say anything. It just annoyed me, like and don't have the same effect. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. I remember the last thing I did in drama. Did you have your performances at the end of year 11?
Yeah.
What did you do?
We did this really serious thing. I wanted to do something like, I don't know, comedy or action or something like that.
Our play was called Ruffian on the Stairs.
Did you name it?
No, it was one that was already there. And I'm still amazed at how I remembered my lines. I remember the exact moment, and I remembered it was because that's the thing I was worried about most, is that I can a lot of stuff I can remember. I have a good long-term memory. I remember stuff that happened a long time ago in perfect detail.
What, even though you said that your whole life was blah.
Yes, I mean there are specific things like houses I've been to or streets. I can remember exactly what they look like. I can recite an exact conversation that I've had with someone. It's only certain things like that. But I really didn't think that I'd be able to remember any of it. But then like, the person who I was with in my group said, if you it said like, so you don't think you can remember this? And I was like, no, there's no way we've been able to remember this. So I was like, how come you can't remember this? That you can remember the whole first chapter of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone off by heart. And I was just like, touche. And then after that, I just, it just happened. It popped into my head.
What was your character?
I can't remember his name. The weird guy who's the ruffian on the stairs, the title character. And I don't know how he was supposed to be played. Most people just played him as like, he was sort of a nutter, sort of loony, and yeah, sort of a loony guy. But he was sort of like really violent or whatever. But I played him as, I think you might recognise this in a sec. I played him as a cat, really more psychologically mad and a sort of strange. Right, I had not made this connection before, and it just popped into my head. But the way I did, I came up to, like to the door, and the way I played it was different than everyone else. It was like, I'm coming out the room. Like that. And all the way through, he was talking like this, which you may have heard from someone else before.
Yes.
But the way he spoke was very slowly and calmly like this. And he had very straight eye contact with people. And he wore a big suit, and he was like this a lot. His hand. Very slow version of Norm, yes. So that was my character from the show.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember any of my lines, apart from, I've come back the room. That's the only line I can remember. I die at the end.
Okay. You seem to die a lot. Did you shoot?
Got shot at the end. And then someone they shoot the fish. I mean, either the bullet goes through me and hits the fish tank, or there are 2 shots and the fish tank, fish gets shot. And on my first death, I'm like, and it's like, the end is nigh. I just fall over and die or something like that. And then the girl's like, oh no! Just runs off and my fish. Me laying on the floor. And then they just runs home and bury the fish, just leave me there. And then I got sheep right over me. That's it. I remember when we were performing, when we were practicing, I couldn't help. Like when I was listening to the other 2 people talk, they were talking about a certain line, and they would like, I think he was doing an Irish accent, or trying to do an Irish accent. He's like, "Oh, it's like your mother." He's like, he's like, when she's come home, open all hours, banging us in the doorway or something like that. She's a prostitute or something like that. Banging all hours in the doorway, and I remember I was always behind him. I always went like that, reenacting banging the doorway, and I was always doing mines to what they were saying. It's like I just went down the shop. Mum, go. And I talking. Let's go. Mum, go down the shop. One of them arguments, and then so that always distracted them. I couldn't help it. I said, right, last time. Did it anyway. But yeah, and as I say, a lot of drama just faded through. I don't know why I keep clicking. A lot of drama keeps fading. I remember certain World War II things where we had to do, really serious mellow thing, drama about World War II we did. That's to do with people running over the front line and showing what it would have been like, and running over and then dying straight away. But me being theatrical the way I am, had to go out in a blaze of machine gun fire. Falling over and dying. Well, everyone else was like, really mellow. And I just remember me going like, I don't know if you've seen Star Wars, but at the end of the 3rd one, Anakin gets his legs and his arm chopped off, and he's like pulled over in the lava, near the lava, and the only thing he's got is his one robotic arm, and he's like trying to cut the thing. I was like. Trying to crawl forward. Trying to nearly threw everything off of the table there. And then, trying to claw my way back up. I just die slowly. And the only other thing I could do is, if you remember, is the old man. But this is the different time. When I was in year 10, 11. I remember another time being an old man. Just came out with a little walking stick, one of them old man hats on a jacket. And I can't remember what I said, but I remember the gist of it. It was like, if I could go back in time, I would go back to my family. If I could go back in time, I say I'd go back to my family, I would.
I think the tears for I.
Yeah, but it was like really mellow, wasn't it?
Please tell me this was like a time travel
story. If I could go back in time.
Thank you for listening to the LNL podcast.